Hello everyone and welcome back to Project Ozone Reloaded Titan Mode. You're watching episode 10. I am in the Nether where I have done extensive mining, not just now but on several previous occasions. And one of the things I wanted to show you down here was just that at the bedrock layer it is actually relatively safe to mine in the Nether. Nothing spawns on this bedrock. I've got some torches down here, but it's just on chunk corners just to sort of give some perspective on the size. I've done a lot of excavation out here. There are quite a few nether ores. I really didn't do anything but mine a couple of things down here because I just came here to show you this area. Big mine. You do need to watch out for these. If you look very closely up there, and you might not be able to see it on YouTube, but it says nether ores block hellfish. You don't want to break these. Otherwise, there's really not much here. I mean, occasionally I see a pigman or a spider where I've intersected a cave, like there's a big spider right up there. Let's kill that thing. And it died. That one was moving around, a little hard to hit that way. But anyway, um, let's go back to the overworld because today's episode I want to spend a lot of time questing. There are quite a few machines that I would like to get made so that I can start working on sort of the meat and potatoes of building out the base. I just haven't had the machines that I need because I've been waiting for those machines to get made through the quest mechanism, and I want to do that on camera, but there's just so much of it. This is an interesting spot right here. This is cleared glass from Tinker's Construct. I put in a window in this tube of sand that goes all the way down to the lava lake. My nether gate is sort of on a thin ledge of netherrack over a lava lake. Just in case you have ever tried this before and not had a problem, you might think, well, how'd you get that glass in there? Because every time you dig out one of these blocks of sand, the rest falls. And the answer is you use a piston and you push it into place there. That's how I made that window. So continuing on up, this is the enclosure that I built around my nether gate. And I've got windows on all the sides so I can sort of see out, but there's really not that much to see out here. Let's go through the gate, and hopefully I didn't have a pigman on the other side that's going to try to knock me off into the void. Okay, I'm back in the overworld. As you can see here, I've got a big system for processing ores from Astris. I did do a special video on that. It was released probably at least a couple of weeks ago at this point, so you probably should have already seen it. If you haven't, you might want to go back and look at that bonus episode where I covered this system because this is actually working very well for me. What I'm using to power all this is I've actually got 4 crucibles now powering this big bank of lava generators. I want to do something to reduce the size on that. I want to go ahead and convert them into the 8-volt generators, but I probably am not going to get to that this episode. The other thing that's of interest down here is since I have finished that, I would like to come over here to the achievement book, and automate sieve ores into ingots is one of the achievements, and I'm just going to go ahead and check that off. Even though we haven't gotten anywhere near the finishing the quest book to get to where it says to do the stuff, since we can do it, let's go ahead and check it off. Okay, going back upstairs, let's look at the quest journal and see what is in store today. First of all, I did finish one of the quests in the beta chapter. I've just been doing these seed quests off camera for the most part, but I did do the glowstone plants. I needed quite a bit of instone to get draconium so that I would have all the pieces so that I could program the storage drawers in the ore sieving system. And the way you make draconium is you put glowstone through lava in a stone barrel, And I had to probably make 5 or 6 stacks of it, and I just wasn't getting enough glowstone to do that, so I went ahead and grew the plants. Looks like the reward is a chance cube. I'm not using that right now. I have been expanding my storage drawers. I've set up some manual stuff for smelting and pulverizing over here, and I've been working on getting rid of, in a sense, iron. Since I got the system up and running, at the moment I have 944 blocks of iron accumulated, and I've been trying to keep up with the iron production by taking and making alloys and stuff out of it, and I just have not been able to effectively do so. It's producing iron faster than I can consume it at this point, which brings me to the very first quest I want to do today, which is maybe here. Yes, storage upgrades. We want all the storage upgrades for storage drawers here, and I'm going to use at least one of them on iron right away. So what I want to do when I set these up is I want to go ahead and demonstrate setting up the auto crafting in logistics pipes. I've already got some of it done down there. You might have seen me walk past a big bank of tables, but I'm going to set up some new recipes in the system for that. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to go and let's look up here at how these are made. These are the default recipes. I've already looked at that much on them. Right here. So it's got one of these upgrade templates in the middle, surrounded by 4 sticks, surrounded by 4 of whatever item you're going to be using to set the level of the upgrade. The lowest tier one is iron, then gold, obsidian, diamond, and emerald. There are some other upgrades here that affect behavior of the storage drawers. I'm not going to make them at this time. But let's look at the upgrade template. That is some sort of storage drawer, any type really, surrounded by sticks, and it will give you 2 of those templates. Now I actually have one type of drawers here, the oak drawers, programmed into the system. I also have compacting drawers programmed into the system. I've been making lots of those, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. So let's go ahead and request one of those. I'm using birch drawers, but I'm just manually making them right now. I like the color on the birch drawers a little better, but birch wood is not as abundant as the oak, so that's why I'm not doing it that way. Now I'm going to need some sticks. Actually, I don't need a full set of sticks. Just one would suffice, because I'm just going to be setting up the recipe. Alright, so there's a stick in a storage drawer. Let's go downstairs. I'm going to need something to jump on because here we go. I'm building things up pretty high, and eventually that will be fine because I will have flying, but at the moment I don't, so I'm having to use some sort of scaffolding to get up high. So let's go ahead and place some more logistics crafting tables, and I'll go ahead and place 3 of the tables, but I can only program 1 at the moment. So let's go ahead and put the oak drawers in the table and sticks just like that, and that defines the recipe for 2 upgrade templates. Now if I take a logistics crafting pipe and I attach that to the table, I can then hit it with a wrench just like that, and it will show me the upgrade template. Now there is a little bit of a problem here, and I will get to that when I get back upstairs. Alright, let's go ahead and craft one of those. Technically we'll be crafting 2 of them. And they should come through in a second here. The thing is, this quest, the problem is not with the crafting the item. The problem is that I think this quest is probably a crafting quest, and I will not have gotten credit for it that way. Oh, well actually it doesn't care because I need to do the storage drawer upgrades that way. So I guess I'm okay on that. Let's go ahead and craft some more of those, and I'll just go ahead and craft them here by hand because I have to in order to get the quest credit. So I'll just request a bunch of sticks, and I'll request some more upgrade templates. Don't need 20 of them. Get 4 more of them. And I'm going to get some metals just by hand while we're doing that. I'm going to need iron and gold. I'm also going to need obsidian, but I'm going to need diamonds and emeralds. 4 emeralds. Do I not have 4 emeralds? Oh, I do. I was hitting shift on these things. I'm used to these things being set up for shift because that's how they are in the other sky block I am playing. Let's go ahead and put all this stuff back in there and get more appropriate amounts. I'm going to need obsidian, which I will have to request this way because I have no idea where it is. And I think that's everything. Is it? Let's see, 4 iron, gold, obsidian, emerald. I didn't get diamonds. There we go. So now I have the obsidian as well. Alright. I'll put that in there. I want 4 sticks. And it starts with iron. So put that in there. Made 1 of those. Let's see if it gave me quest credit for that. It did not. So I will not be able to make them in this particular table like that. Let's bring this back out, get all the sticks out. I do need to request some more sticks. A stack of them will be fine. And some more... I don't need more storage drawers. Okay. Put that in there. 4 sticks. And... well... oh, getting whole stacks again. Okay, that time I crafted it by hand. Let's see if I got quest credit. Yes, I did. Alright, so gold is next. Then obsidian. And diamond. And let's see, did it get those sticks? Yeah. And then emerald. So that gets credit for all of them. I've just always been picking the middle reward bag. There's no way of telling which one it is unless you do something cheaty, and I'm not doing that. So let's go ahead and claim that. And looks like I got a cobblestone framework. Creates cobblestone from energy. Can be upgraded with alloy smelters, sag mills, and crafters to produce different materials. Yeah, I don't see any need to produce cobblestone from energy. It might be... I'll have to look at it with what the other materials are that it can do. Some of that might be interesting, but I'll just put that away for now. And I'm going to go ahead and put... before I do this, let's go and click on this. If you shift click with an empty hand on a storage drawer, it shows you how much it's got in it, and it shows you what upgrades it's got. If I go ahead and put the iron upgrade in here, and you don't have to put it in there that way, you can put it in this way. That is going to allow more space, and I'm not seeing what I was really looking for here. I was looking to see what the upgrade level was. Normally what you can do with these is you don't have to put them in order. Iron, then gold, then obsidian, then storage upgrade. In other words, I can replace the iron with the gold one. Now it's got 3 times the base value, but I can also put both of them in. The functionality does, at least in most configurations I've seen, stack, so now it can hold 5 times, or a total of 6 times the base value, because it's got 2 plus 3 plus the base value itself. I'm just going to leave it that way for now, and I will save my other upgrades for the time being. Although I'm sure iron will be the first one to fill, because you get iron from every sieving operation. Alright, let's go ahead and set those up in the logistics pipe system as well. That was one of the things that I wanted to accomplish here. So I'm going to need another, really just one of those. But I'm also going to need, no, I'm not going to need another crafting drawer. That'll be fine. And one stick will do. Put that there. Then I'm going to need one of each of the materials again. So obsidian, iron, gold, diamond, and emerald. To set the recipes up, you actually only need one of each item because you're setting up a template. It's a ghost item. And I forgot the one piece that I was going to need over here. The template. Alright. So I've got two drawers in place here. We'll just put the template here and we'll make the iron one. And then here I'll put the template in the middle and lay out the pattern for the gold one. Put a couple pipes in place here and whack it with the wrench. Yeah. Import and import. Now I'll go back down to the bottom. I've got 3 more of these I need to set up, so I need to put down 3 more tables. And I only have 2 with me because I usually am pretty bad about putting things away that I need. Let me get that. I do have enough logistics pipes there. So when you first set up a logistics pipe system, and this is also true for setting up, let's say, an applied energistics system or any sort of auto crafting like this, where you have to craft a bunch of components in order to expand it, inevitably the first thing that you should do is go ahead and program in all of the recipes for expanding the system. I guess that's probably pretty obvious, but it really is the first thing you need to expend your efforts on, so it's probably worth mentioning just in case somebody has not done this before. So there's the emerald one, and that one was the diamond. And we'll go ahead and import, import, import. So that's all programmed into the system now. And we can actually see here, if we look in the tables, that that is what I did. Stone gear, wood gear, basic logistics pipe, diamond transport pipe, redstone torch. These are all the components that are needed to make the crafting tables and the crafting logistics pipe in particular. So that is how I set that up. And I don't have a lot of stuff that I'm going to need programmed into it yet. It is going to be quite a large system of drawers before it's all programmed in. Okay, I've put all that stuff away. Let's see what else I need to work on today. What I would like to do is I would like to go ahead and get down into this area just a little bit deeper so that I can start to open up some other stuff. So this is in the alpha chapter, and I want to go ahead and get some of the immersive engineering out of it. Some of it's already done. This steel production is already done, made the blast furnace a long time ago. I just haven't reached that point, so I haven't been able to accept the quest. Let's make treated wood. It wants me to make a stack of treated wood, and for that I'm going to need creosote oil. I'm going to need 8 of them. I'm going to need planks of any particular sort. I'll just use the spruce wood, and I'll need 64 of those. Now I'm going to bring them over here and make sure that I do them in a crafting table that will give me credit for it if it's a crafting recipe. So we got 64 of them now. It says it's 100% done. It is a detection, so I could have made it in the other one. Pick a reward bag. And what manner of exciting thing did we get? Appliances. I do have room to just toss all that stuff in here. Okay, so having finished that, it also now shows the steel production is complete, so let's go ahead and pick a reward for that one. Oh, chance cubes. Alright, next it wants me to do water power. Let's see what's involved in that. I need to make 3 water wheels. I've made one of these before. It's nice in that it generates passive power, but it is quite large. So, something to keep in mind if you decide you want to make one of these. So it needs treated wood planks surrounded by water wheel segments. So I'm going to need 12 of these segments, and the segments are made from treated wood, sticks, and planks. Let's go ahead and get that going. Maybe this 64 wood will be enough. So I need 12 of those, and that's 8. So let's get another 8 of these things. Then it wanted the wood in that pattern. So I've got 12 of those now. And it looks like I am going to have almost exactly the right amount of wood. I mean, it looks like I need 63 wood instead of 64. So we've made those now. It does have full credit. It's going to give us the kinetic dynamo for free. That is the other piece of this that's required in order to set up the water wheel, aside from just water and some framework to put the thing in. So I'm not going to set up the water wheel right now. I will probably set it up the next time I build a new floor in the base and stick it in there, and I will show it to you after I've done that. More chance cubes. So that opens up Carbide, which unlocks a quest somewhere else. I'll definitely want to do that one now. And power cables. Power cables mean I'm going to need more treated wood. Let me go ahead and look at Carbide first, because I don't... Surround 1 tungsten with 8 coal. Now I've got plenty of tungsten. Let's just make a bunch of Carbide. I know I'm going to need more of it. This is leading into Magneticraft, and Magneticraft does have some machines that will do triple ore output, which is sort of the next stage in upgrading ore production. Now, it won't touch the ex-Nihilo ores, but I will be getting more ores from other places, and one of the things that it will deal with is the ores that you get after you run the nether ores 1 pass through the smelter. So I needed coal for this as well. Just get a stack of coal, since it wanted an 8-to-1 ratio. There we go, bring it over here. And there's our carbide. So we've got a stack of carbide now. Only needed to make 1. So we're done with that quest. Let's see what we got. More chisel conversion tools. Now I wonder what that opened up. Here it opened up some stuff for wiring, and power gen for Magneticraft. Did it open up another chapter anywhere? No, it did not. So let's look at the existing chapters and see what might have opened up. Nothing on here. This isn't really related to tech systems. Here it all looks about the same to me. In Delta, this all looks the same too. In Epsilon, that's all the same. Zeta, we opened up the solar flux panel. So we can get started on making these panels that generate passive power from sunlight. And actually, I think they generate quite a bit. They're one of the things that has been boosted in this mod pack. Let's take a look at this. This panel generates 20 RF per tick just at the lowest tier, and I bet normally that it just generates 1 RF per tick, but of course it requires all this electrotine and redstone chipsets in order to make it. The next tier up generates 80 RF per tick. It's going to require an MFR machine block and a redstone reception coil, 4 of the previous tier, plus mirrors. Mirrors are a potential way to use up aluminum. Aluminum is one of those materials that I always end up with ridiculous amounts of because it's a pretty common ore, but unfortunately it doesn't have as many uses as some of the other metals, so you end up with a lot of extra aluminum. Well, this is a way to burn some of that up, so I'll definitely be doing some of that. Let's see what else we can work on in the quests. It's actually pretty good that we're on this page because I want to do some of this MFR stuff. I probably won't get very far with it until I do some Ender IO stuff as well, but let's go ahead and get started here. On rubber, I've gotten raw rubber from rubber trees, and I've smelted it once to get rubber bars. I've also gotten plastic sheets from like a loot bag or something like that, so that satisfies that, but I have not made raw plastic yet. Let's get a stack of rubber. And come over here and smelt it. Now, in amongst all of these machines over here, I've set up a sag mill here for grinding stuff. And on the other side, I've set up an alloy smelter for making alloys. And I went ahead and put the induction smelter in the middle of it. The induction smelter doesn't use these 2 boxes on the side. The boxes are for the others. However, I've got a redstone furnace set up back here behind it. In general, in this mod pack, you want to use the alloy smelter for making the alloys that have to be made in it. But thermal expansion machines have been significantly beefed up in the speed of processing, so you're probably going to want to use this machine for your smelting. And you'll be able to see that when I stick these rubber bars in it, how fast it smelts them all. See, it's just whizzing right along there, and I will have my raw plastic almost immediately over here. So let's finish the quest while it finishes smelting. I only needed 1. And what do we get? Another music disc. Don't need that. So it finished smelting all that stuff, and we're in good shape there. Now the next one of these is, I think, to make the hammer, the precision hammer. I never use this thing. It's really equivalent to just a wrench. It does say it allows you to see the area some MFR machines are working on, so maybe I should use it since I'm going to have to make it anyway. Let's take a look. So it needs plastic sheets and sticks. Let me just convert some of that into plastic, just like that, and get a couple of sticks. I guess I put all my sticks away. So there's our precision sledgehammer, and it finishes that quest. I got some invisible bedrock. I have no idea, what is that from? It's from Artifacts. I have no idea what that's for, but I know that if it behaves anything like bedrock, I don't want to put it down. Put that in there. Chance cubes away, plastic away. Alright, next machine here for MFR. It wants me to produce a lava fabricator. And on this other quest, it's frustrating sometimes dealing with this book, it wants me to produce Mangaloy. Now Mangaloy is not from MFR. This is going to branch down into a different quest line, which is, I think this mod is Quantum something. Let's take a look. Mangaloy. Quantum Flux. Oh, it's used to make that thing. Won't be doing that now. So it's steel surrounding redstone. That's going to be pretty simple to make. Why don't I just go ahead and do that? I'm not going to progress through that whole quest line, but I'm trying to get a lot of quests dealt with, and one of them is the one category in general is some of the alloying stuff. So let's see. Steel. And redstone. I'll just get it manually. One of the things I'm finding a little interesting, this mod pack just updated a couple of days ago, much more than a couple of days ago when you're seeing this because I'm filming considerably ahead. But when the update happened, a few things changed, and one of them is that the immersive engineering smelter is now producing Tinker's Construct steel instead of immersive engineering steel. I had my storage drawer set up for immersive engineering steel, so I'm having to deal with a little bit of quirkiness there for ore dictionary stuff. So we produced that. I'll just put that redstone away. Let's look at finishing this quest. Oh, I didn't finish it because it wants me to produce 16 of them. I guess I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have enough steel. You've seen it. I will do it off camera once I do have enough steel. Let's go on to the other side and look at what's involved in the lava fabricator. The lava fabricator wants a machine chassis, plastic, magma cream, blaze rods, and redstone. At the moment I don't have... Yeah, I do have 2 slime balls, so it is enough to do that. I've got some of this blue slime, and I believe that will suffice. Let me get a couple blaze powder and make that piece. Okay, what was the lava fabricator right here? I need a couple blaze rods. Now that I don't have. So that will have to wait for the moment. Let's put this away. The other general quest lines here I want to deal with in this episode, just so that I will have them done and can continue to progress. I want to make some of these alloys. So I think it doesn't say that I've done electrum, but I have. I just didn't get credit. But I have not done bronze. So let's make some bronze, and it wants me to do 12 ingots of it. So that is copper and tin, 3 copper to 1 tin, or 6 to 2 as I'm doing it in this case, because I want a little extra bronze. So I'll come over here, stick this in the smeltery, and turn the lever off until such time as it has melted and alloyed. While I'm waiting on that, the next one will be electrum and then signalum, it looks like. I'll probably stop at electrum, but let me go downstairs and get some gold and silver so I can do those at the same time. So this one is 1 to 1, or 2 to 2 if you're making more. I'm going to put this in here. So the bronze is made now. Let's start pumping it out. And it wanted me to, I'm going to have to wait for 12 ingots here, I think. Yeah. And it can be any kind of bronze, and it's just a detection, so because you couldn't do a crafting one on smelting. At least I don't think you can. I have some other alloys sitting in here. When I get these done, I think the next item on the agenda is going to be the Slice and Splice over here, but actually it will be soul infused alloy first, because I have to have solarium to operate that machine. So it's giving me electrum first, but I want it to give bronze first. Let's do it this way. I'll just pour out a block of it and then undo the block to get the ingots. Well, that didn't quite work. Let's see. There we go. So I'll pick a reward bag. So we got the ore processing upgrade there. While that is finishing, let's go down and deal with the solarium ingots, which was that ender alloying quest. Now I already put the materials in the furnace here and it produced them. The actual recipe for solarium is somewhere in here. It's gold and soul sand. And there it is right there. Soul sand and gold to make 1 ingot of solarium. I've got 45 of them made. So let's go in here and finish this one. And I got cooking for blockheads. I think I've gotten 3 of those now. So I don't think I'm going to do the glowstonic steel right now, or oh, enchanted crystals unlock something somewhere. Yeah, but those are pretty complicated. I'm not going to make those right now. I'll have to look into that. Since I got that machine, let's go ahead while we're waiting on the electrum and go ahead and make a slice and splice. Now, slice and splice requires an iron axe, iron shears, 5 solarium, a machine chassis, and any sort of vanilla or MFR mob head. Not MFR, Ender IO. So let's come over here and we'll get the machine chassis. I made up a bunch of them earlier. Those have to be made in the QED, and as far as I know, it's not automatable, so it's just going to take time to deal with those. Some kind of mob head, I'll just use creeper. I've got those 5 items, and I'm going to need to make an iron axe and iron shears. So I'm going to need some iron and some sticks. I've got some iron on me. Let me just request a few sticks. And the shears I can go ahead and make. And then the axe just like so. And I need to put the axe there. Oh, it probably wants me to craft this, doesn't it? Is this a crafting recipe? It's just a detection, so I don't have to... I can do it in this table, which may not be any more convenient. Didn't quite get that right. Maybe it's this way. Yeah. So I now have a slice and splice, and I can claim any of these various heads. The Enderman is the least common one, so I'll go ahead and claim it, but I don't really anticipate a shortage of them. And we got An auto enchantment table. That could be nice. I'm just going to put this down somewhere. Maybe way over here. So this continues on to the soul binder and the vat, and I'm not particularly going to make those right now. I think let's go ahead and use the soul binder. In order to use the soul binder, it's got to be hooked up somewhere where there's power. I think I might still have an open slot behind here. Yeah. And it's going to need an axe and shears. Now, there is a consideration here on the axe. If you actually look up the recipes, it's going to say that it wants an iron axe. Let's go ahead and look up the Z Logic controller, which is one of the things you can make with this machine. It wants an iron axe and shears and these items down here. In fact, it does not have to be an iron axe, and you'll notice that the iron axe says durability of 1-1. The axe that I'm going to use on it is the dark axe from Ender IO. So let's come over here, clear this out, put in sticks and dark steel. That's going to give me a dark axe. This one has a durability of 1561, so I won't have to replace it every time that I make an item. So we'll do the shears there, and to make this recipe I needed some silicon, and I needed some redstone, I needed a zombie head, zombie, not creeper, and I needed some solarium. So let's come over to the machine. I'll put in the axe and the shears, and this machine actually knows where to place these items. All I have to do is shift click them in there and it will place those items, and we got a Z-Logic controller. So let's come over here and see if that was one of our quest items. I don't think it was. No, there's an upgraded one later on that is. The reason I went ahead and made that is because I am going to want to set up some, where is that? Some MFR machines. And when you look at some of these more advanced machines, not the lava fabricator, but when you look at the more advanced ones like the planter, for example, the recipes in this mod pack require a Z-Logic controller as part of the planter. It's got to have an Ender IO machine chassis, it's got to have a Z-Logic controller. A number of the machines need those controllers. So is there anything else in here that I really desperately need to do today before I close out this episode? You know, why don't I go ahead and do the runic altar? And the reason I want to go ahead and do that now is because I want to get started on some of these seeds. Well, no, I'll just delay that until maybe next episode. I want to do some more agriculture here and start making some progression on the magical crops so that I can produce a wider variety of things through agriculture. However, and that will require a runic altar, but I also want to do these quests on camera, and I just don't have enough time for that today. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and close out the episode for today. If you enjoyed the episode or found it useful in some way, I would certainly appreciate it if you did a like, subscribe, comment, or share. Thank you for watching. I will see you next episode.